Moonlight is an indie drama film directed and written by Barry Jenkins. And it's really a film that is about a young black man finding himself at three stages of his life. It deals with masculinity and sexuality and like how to be yourself when your life is not great and you have to figure out who you are.
What you, what you looking at me like that for? What, man? Come on, you just drove down here? Yeah.
Honestly, this film is a beautifully crafted movie, and the filmmaking is excellent throughout. But a little disappointed by it. Like I wasn't as amazed by the film as I was expecting to be. I mean, it's still a great film, but it didn't have as much of an impact as I was hoping, and especially the third act. So basically, the film is in three different acts, and the first act is with Little. Like each one, he's kind of called by a different name. But the first one is Little, and he's 9, and this one's very good. This is one Mahershala Ali. Sorry, I screwed that name, but he's up for a lot of the supporting actor roles, like nominations. And I can see because he's like the father figure that he doesn't have, and he kind of steps in and helps them. And that is excellent. But there's some weird things about that, where when you first see his mom, she is in nurse scrubs. And she seems put together. Like, she's worried about where the son had been the other day. But then you go back and, like, I don't know if it was right away. Like, it's tough to tell time in between the scenes when, the three main acts. But it seemed like it was maybe a week, maybe a couple weeks. And all of a sudden she goes from being a put-together nurse to a crackhead. And I was like, what happened here? Like, but it's the same little kid actor. I mean, she get hooked on crack that quick? They don't really explain, like, either was she on crack then, but she was still somehow doing her nursing job. I don't see how he could maintain that. But there's some great stuff with how the new Mahershala Ali is as Juan. Juan is the the father figure, but he's also a drug dealer. And the idea that the guy's mom gets her drugs from him, or like, I mean through the intermediaries probably. But the idea that, what are you going to do? You're going to be his father, or you're going to be, and it's really well done, that. And, the bullying stuff, yeah, I can see. But I mean, the kid is good, the accent, but the accent is a little. But it's a little, like, throughout the whole movie, he's kind of so, like, blank, the acting. I understand that's kind of his character, but it leaves a little bit of desire. Like, you don't even know what he's thinking a lot of the time. You're just, like, so, like, kind of dead-eyed. And I mean, that's kind of what the character is, but I don't know. The second act of the film is definitely the best. And I honestly wouldn't have minded a whole film just on this part of the movie. Because, and this is when he's at 16, and he's really struggling with his sexuality and with friends and with still bullying in school. And his mom is now like a really bad crackhead, and it's like it's really horrible. And I think that the actor for this one is excellent. And I would have loved more in this part. That's one thing. Like, the whole movie, it isn't that long, especially if you're splitting it into 3 very distinct acts. I would have liked to see more in each part. But in the second act is definitely like the best part of the film. I really loved that part, even though what happens is horrible. But the third act is probably my least favorite part of the film, and that's why the film kind of failed a little bit for me. Because they never really resolved much. Like, it goes like decades into the future, and the guy. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about spoilers now. Like, not huge spoilers, but I'm going to spoil a little bit. But basically, in the third act, he is a drug dealer, like Juan from the first act. And I just don't see, like, the jump is so big that, like, how is someone that was raised by a crackhead that hated it, like, how could someone do that to other people then? Like, how could you, like, be a drug peddler yourself? And they have he has conversations. Well, that's the big thing is Kevin is the love interest throughout the movie, and he's the other person that you see like age differently each time. And like you have a bit of a conversation with him about like what happened, but like it didn't really feel like each character was connected. Like I didn't feel like they were one character. I felt like there's almost three different characters. And as it's weird that this is the biggest spoiler, but at one point he's talking with him and he says that I haven't touched anyone since that night on the beach with you, and that's what basically Kevin jacked him off on under the moonlight on the beach, and that was his only experience sexually. And it feels like you're putting Kevin like on a pedestal, because I mean, I guess if he can go out that long and try to be like hard and try to be like a gangster, and no one would suspect something weird if he never even touched anyone. Like it seems that like there's something wrong with him almost. Like I don't know if he's autistic. Like his character is supposed to be autistic, or what. But like I didn't really get some of that how he was. I think they want to make it more important that that he was waiting for him or something. But I mean, why wouldn't you call the guy if you still loved him so much even after what happened in the second act? And that's the thing. I mean, the movie it's a good movie. I mean, like I said, the filmmaking is excellent, like, especially in the first two parts. Like there's a lot of interesting things it does with the framing and with like the aspect ratio and different things that are really creative. But as a whole, I just wasn't as impressed as I would have liked to be.